Okay, so as you can tell by the title, this is about the Midas in Kalkaska, Michigan. In particularly, I want to point out James Marr, manager, one of the managers at Midas of Kalkaska in particularly. Now, as I have mentioned in a couple other of my videos where I gave a video, shall we say, testimonial over one of the local Traverse City martial arts locations, I don't give these free advertisements, testimonials, or whatever you want to call it, just because. I give these out very few and far in between. I think maybe I've only ever done 2, then include this one, so 3 really, but maybe I'm wrong, maybe I've done a couple others, but most recently just 3, including this one. So that aside though, main point here is you hear about it all the time. Mechanics upselling, taking advantage of people's ignorance, and most commonly it's through like these quick lube places where they say, oh, we're gonna change your oil, and then they just kind of dink around and don't actually change your oil. You know, we've seen all this sort of corruption over the years, and we've heard all these horror stories about corrupt mechanics and establishments that say, oh, you need this part replaced, and oh, you need this done, when in reality you don't really need it done. And a professional mechanic actually had his vehicle professionally maintained by himself for years, and he knew everything was absolutely perfect with it. And before going to the mechanic place, he flushed out all the fluids, put all brand new fluids in, and so on and so forth. Then he brought it to a place, and they said, oh, you need your oil changed, and oh, you need this done, and you know, that kind of thing. Same old thing, right? Well, that is not the case when it comes to Midas of Kalkaska. My experience there has been literally the opposite. In particularly with James Marr here, I specifically only go to him because he's earned 100% my trust and making sure that I come back as a repeat customer, because he could have had me spend well over $3,000 on unnecessary things, but he chose not to because he has integrity. He's an honest mechanic, an honest, integrity-filled person. At first we thought there was a oil pan leak, which would have cost roughly $2,000. Then through further testing, it was thought that it was radiator related, and then that again roughly would have been between $1,200 and $2,000-ish dollars, meaning it's not cheap to get that all done. And then through more testing, it was seen that my radiator had a puncture in it, but it wasn't really leaking. Whatever was leaking, it must have been rain or something, or some sort of residue or the other. And through their testing, they found absolutely no leaks. So what James could have done, and Midas in general of Kalkaska could have done without me knowing any better, is they could have had me change out my oil pan, and then they could have moved on to getting my radiator replaced. Or they could have been like, oh, it's not your oil pan, but you definitely need to get your radiator done. I would have been none the wiser, and I would have paid out $1,200 plus dollars. But because of the honesty, the integrity, and the ethics of one James Marr, I did none of these things. And instead, it was determined that it's such a non-factor that it's not really anything that really truly needs focused on at this point. And so he saved me $3,000 plus ish dollars. Now, you hear about it all the time. Relationships, friendships, hell, even like marriages are ruined because of money. Once money gets involved, man, shit goes down the drain real quick. So, on a personal level, this speaks volumes to me about his character. And I respect that. Not from just a business person to a client type relationship, but from a human being to another human being. I respect him. And he has shown me time and time again that he is trustworthy, he is honest, he's someone with integrity and excellent work ethic and amazing ethics. And then on top of that, anything that's ever been done to my vehicle has been done with only the best top quality work. I have a 2008 vehicle, and nowadays, because of the work that's been done at Midas in Kalkaska, I swear it's like 2008, and I just bought the damn thing because it's so damn brand new like now. It doesn't matter if they're doing a fluid flush, an oil change, or condenser or resonator change, muffler change, whatever the case may be. No matter how small, no matter how big, they've always done perfect. Above what I would ever expect when it comes to quality in their work. So not only do they have James, the manager, that's all-star kind of guy, but they got an all-star team of mechanics back there working on the vehicle too. And so, because of these factors and because of these things, I am giving a video shout out to the Midas of Kalkaska, Michigan. I literally travel all the way from Traverse City, Michigan out to Kalkaska, Michigan simply to go to Midas because it's 100% worth it to me. I had a brake line have a catastrophic leak, and so I brought it to Randy's Old Town, which is South Union Street, and right on 8th Street, South Union area. And my brake pedal kind of felt not so good, kind of cloudy, sluggish kind of thing. And supposedly they're like top-notch, high-quality people of the Traverse City area. Not compared to Midas, because I go to Midas after everything's taken care of, right? And I have them do a complete brake fluid flush and the whole 10 yards and check my brakes. And what you know, after Midas is done doing their thing, my brake finally feels really good and stiffer, like it should feel, rather than mushy, like it was feeling before I got there. And again, so supposedly one of the best places to get your car done in Traverse City is outclassed by Midas of Kalkaska. So I can't say enough praises about Kalkaska's Midas and the people that work there. So shout out to James, shout out to the people that work in the behind the scenes area at Midas, and the oil change team, Destiny, you rock. So until next time.